I'm going to tell you something that took me years to admit. I left one of the most prestigious, best resourced, most intellectually stimulating professional environments in the country to do work that aligned with my deepest values. And I was more depleted than I had ever been in my life. Not because the work was wrong, not because I made a mistake, but because the system the work existed inside was asking more than any system can sustainably ask of its people. I have worked inside two of the most demanding professional worlds in Britain: Magic Circle transactional law and children and families social work. They couldn't be more different, and they share more than either would like to admit. My name is Hannah Oller. I work at the intersection of identity, life transitions, and becoming. And today I want to tell you what each of those worlds gets profoundly right and profoundly wrong about the people inside them. Magic circle law is a world most people encounter only in headlines. As a transactional lawyer, I advised global businesses on some of the most complex, high value deals in the world: mergers, acquisitions, financial structures worth hundreds of millions. The kind of work where a single misplaced clause can cost more than people earn in a lifetime. The hours were long, genuinely long. The work was relentless in the way that only high stakes, deadline driven intellectual work can be. But here is what the system understood. If you were going to ask this much of people, you have to look after them. There were sleep pods in the office, meals available when the hours ran long, a taxi home when the work kept you past midnight. The financial compensation was significant. The career pathway was clear. The professional trust was real. You were treated as someone whose judgment and expertise were genuinely valued. The system extracted a great deal, but it did not pretend that the extraction was anything other than what it was. And it paid, in every sense, accordingly. Children and family social work is one of the most important jobs that exists in this country. The people who do it carry responsibility for some of the most vulnerable children in our society. They make decisions that change lives. They hold complexity that would overwhelm most people before 9 in the morning. I went into that world because I wanted to work with people, to be present with families, to do something that mattered in a way I could feel. And I discovered something that took me a long time to name. The work itself was exactly what I had hoped for. The system surrounding it was asking everything it could take and giving back as little as it could manage. Chronic underfunding, impossible caseloads, a firefighting culture that left no space for the reflective relational work that the job actually requires. I remember coming to the end of the month and realizing I had forgotten to claim my fuel expenses, not because I did not need the money, but because I was too exhausted to remember that I had spent it. In Magic Circle law, there were sleep pods in the office and a taxi waiting at midnight. In social work, I was driving on my own fuel and sometimes finishing the month having lost money. Both systems asked a great deal. Only one of them acknowledged it. Here is what I carried from law into social work that made a difference. a sense of professional assuredness, the ability to hold complexity without panicking. Court experience that most newly qualified social workers spend years developing. The knowledge of what it feels like to be trusted as a professional, which meant I noticed immediately when that trust was absent. And here is what I carried from social work that law had never taught me. What it actually costs to sit with a family in crisis. What relational intelligence looks like when it is the primary tool available. What it means to care about an outcome, not because a client is paying, but because a child's life depends on it. What each world misses about the other is the same thing. Both worlds are so focused on what they need from their people that they rarely stop to ask what they are producing in them. Magic Circle law produces exceptional technical capability and over time, a particular kind of identity narrowing. You become the role. The title does the work of introducing you. And the day you leave, you discover how much of yourself was stored in the institution's name. Social work produces extraordinary human capacity, resilience, empathy, the ability to hold pain that most people never encounter. And over time, a particular kind of depletion that comes not from the work itself, but from the distance between the work you came to do and the work the system lets you do. Both are asking a version of the same question. What does this system produce in its people? And is it what it intends? I am not here to tell you which world is better. Both shaped me in ways I would not trade. And I want to be clear about something before I go further. What I have described today is not an indictment of the individuals inside these systems, the managers, the leaders, the colleagues who are doing their best inside the same structural constraints as everyone else. What I am describing is what systems do structurally, systematically over time to the people inside them. Underfunding is a political failure. Underfunding is a political failure. Over extraction is an organizational pattern. Neither is the fault of the individual trying to do good work inside a system they did not design. But I have spent years now working with people navigating the specific kind of transition that comes from outgrowing a room you helped build. And what I see consistently across both of these worlds is the same thing. People who gave everything they had to a system that needed them and somewhere along the way stopped being able to remember who they were outside of it. If you are inside one of these worlds right now, or any professional system that extracts more than it returns, I want to say something directly to you. The system did not make you. You brought something into that room that existed before you entered it. And whatever it has cost you, it has not taken that. Drop a comment. Which world are you in? What is it producing in you that you did not choose? I read every single one. My name is Hannah Ola. The system shaped you. It did not make you. Those are not the same thing.